Welcome back, everybody. This is What the Fuck Were We Thinking, where basically we just convince each other to read unhinged novels and torture each other. I'm Peyton.
And I'm Mel, and I think today we're just gonna kind of jump right into things.
Let's do this.
All right. Before we do, anything that our listeners need to be aware of?
Not that I can think of. You?
I don't think so. It's been a pretty chill 2 weeks, so
Only the U.S. hockey team won the Olympics and all, but I feel like by the time this comes out, everyone should know that.
hopefully. Oh my gosh, did you hear the call where Trump invited the guys' team to the White House
I don't
and
think it's
was
either.
like,
Yes, nobody would go unless they had.
well, he was like on the phone call too. He was just like, I'm gonna have to invite the girls or I'll get impeached, doing his whole fucking thing.
Misogynistic. Ugh.
Because the girls, from my understanding, kicked ass too.
Kicked ass. And it's both of our goalies that did it, like Hellebuck for the boys, and unfortunately I can't remember the girl's name, but she's amazing. She killed it. There's a reason why we
Mhm.
won, and it's nice. American hockey deserves a lot more. I say this for sure. My phone has not stopped blowing up, not just from people that know I'm a hockey fan, but people that all of a sudden want to become hockey fans, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So in 3 weeks, I think I'm going to another hockey game with some newbies, so it's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
It's nice. It's nice to see our teams providing some sort of unity. So, congratulations to both men's and women's Olympic
Mm.
hockey teams. And then there was a figure skater that did really, really well too. I don't
Yeah,
remember what her name is, but
I just remember she had the really cool hair. And I saw some of her videos, but I'm terrible with names. You would think with my job I would be a heck of a lot better, but I'm worse than normal, so it takes a lot for me to remember names. I don't know.
there's two of us and neither of us remember, so it's fine. But something that I can remember is the book that I want to talk to you about today.
Let's do this.
Alrighty, so picture this. It's late, really late. You can't sleep, so you get out of bed, pad down the hall to the living room, and turn on the radio. You've never listened to your local station's late night show, but you need something on in the background to lighten the silence. The radio hums to life. Just go with it. The soft glow of the display acting as a visual anchor as you move to make a warm cup of tea. A man's voice comes over the radio, deep, silky, smooth, just what you would expect at this hour. You ignore it, let it become background noise until he says it's time to take a caller. Welcome to the show. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? A voice comes on, too young to be up at this hour, and she's speaking at a whisper. I'm Maya, but I'm not calling for me. I'm calling for my mom. I think she's lonely. Oh, what makes you say that, Miss Maya? Before Maya can respond, you hear a woman in the background, stern, demanding the girl's phone. Then she's on the other line. Who are you, and why are you talking to my daughter at this hour? I'm Aiden Valentine, and your daughter called into my station, Heartstrings, where we give advice to those who need help with love. You listen, learning the woman's name is Lucy. She stays on the line, and as she calms down, Lucy starts sharing her own vulnerabilities and insecurities around love. The conversation becomes soothing, falling once again into the background as you sit in your favorite spot on the couch. You watch the world outside, eyes starting to feel heavy, cup finally empty as their voices soothe your nerves. You drift off to sleep as Aiden Valentine announces the end of the show. Thank you for listening to Heartstrings. We'll see you next time, Baltimore. And the last song of the set plays, but you don't hear it. You're already dreaming.
That's cool. I think we've talked about this. This is not the book I thought we were gonna do. I thought we were gonna do a completely different book. So you got me
I
really
definitely
good.
threw a curveball at you and I apologize.
No, I actually really like that. Nice. So this is really cool. I don't know if you've ever seen Sleepless in Seattle. It starts off the same. I'm not saying that this is even remotely like it, but it does start off the same, except for a son and a dad. So,
I imagine that the author got the inspiration from
oh
somewhere.
yeah, no,
It wouldn't
and
be surprising.
and it's very fucking common that something like a kid calls into a show or tells in my line of work, I hear all sorts of stories that I shouldn't hear. So I'm not surprised at all that a kid would do that.
Maya in this book was a fun character, and I'll definitely talk about her a little bit. Any other first impressions?
I thought it was kind of weird because did the radio just cut on itself or am I tripping?
No, no. Well, you turn it on.
Okay, okay, okay. I just thought for like I remember when you said it, I was like, is this got a supernatural twist to it?
Mm-mm.
I know it's in a very familiar town that someone
It
lives in.
it is. So the book, I actually grabbed this book. I was walking through Target looking for a Valentine's-esque read, and I was looking at their little section because they always have their seasonal sections,
Hmm.
and I saw First Time Caller. Right.
I've seen this advertised for me before.
Yeah, really
Oh, as soon as you showed me the cover, I realized that's popped up in my should read list on my Kindle.
interesting.
Oh.
Well,
So convince me. Kindle's already said I need to read it, so convince me to read it now.
I am, or well, at least that's the goal. I'm gonna try. So, First Time Caller is written by BK Borison. It was published last February, so about a year ago. So it's still pretty new, but it was actually published by Penguin Random House. So it is
Mm.
coming from a bigger publishing company. It was a cozy romance story. So it's not anything crazy. It's definitely more of a palate cleanser read, but everything about it is cozy, from the imagery to the conversations to even the setting. We're talking about one of the main characters works on a radio show. He's a radio host, right? So there are scenes where he's in his booth talking to listeners. And so it's just cozy. Perfect for curling up on the couch with when
Hmm.
it's rainy or snowing or just because you just feel warm reading it. As we've talked about, it's set in Baltimore, which was a unique experience because when they were describing certain places or seeing certain things like the Domino sugar sign, they could
Mm.
see it from where they were. I can actually picture that in
Right.
detail, which
Yeah.
was so cool for me.
Is it
Um,
like, did you ever work in the same kind of rough areas? Like, could you picture
no,
it? I know like, anytime I read a book from Atlanta, I'm like going to Atlanta trying to figure out where everything is,
so a lot of this takes place closer to the Inner Harbor. So it's gonna be that more touristy area.
which is
Um,
quite beautiful. Last time I was up there, I definitely went and saw Edgar Allan Poe's grave, and that whole area over there is gorgeous.
it's the Inner Harbor is beautiful, and they've finally gotten it cleaned up too, so it's swimmable. Don't know that I would personally
I was about to say it would
but
not convince me to go, but
and then the aquarium too has set up an outdoor exhibit, and it's
mhm.
bringing back a lot of natural or native wildlife species into the harbor.
Oh, that's good.
So Baltimore's thriving.
Baltimore is really cool. If no one's ever been there, I've only been there once. You live there, but I really liked it. It was a nice vibe. It's weird because it's a fourth of the size of Atlanta. So like what we would consider a midtown is probably the entirety of the whole city. So it's interesting to get like, city vibes in such a tiny condensed area.
Baltimore streets are packed with literally everything. There's a lot of food. So we've got Little Italy, and there's a lot of Greek restaurants, and like just there's a huge cultural variety of food. There's so many places to go. We've got so many music venues, both normal size. We've got some amphitheaters, we've got CFG, arena. There's always something going on.
The Ravens have got a pretty nice place there.
M&T Bank, the O's. So a lot of that kind of stuff going on. There's bar hopping everywhere. They talk about fells. at one point in the book, and I've walked down Fells because you go there for some shopping, but mostly bar hopping, and
Okay.
I've done it. Just
Mm-hmm.
they just are in Baltimore. It is on my bucket list to go back through the book and put together a list of all the spots they went to
Yeah,
and go do that tour.
that would be fun. I know when I wrote Awakening, it is set in downtown Atlanta, in Midtown. So I literally would pull up a map and map it out for my characters. So I always love reading a book that I could literally map out what happened in the city and this place is being referenced in this place and go see it. I wrote a specific church in Midtown with big bright red doors into my book and I just driven by it my whole life and just saw it was like really it's Gothic architecture, so it's just beautiful. And I think last Valentine's, Tom actually took me to the restaurant across the street from it. And so we went and toured the garden area, and I was like, this is where this happened, and this is where this happened. And Tom was like, this is really weird that you just picked a random place and wrote about it.
It's also not weird at all. It makes sense.
It does less, half the imagination is required if you use a place that actually exists.
Well, and it can make other areas of creativity stronger because you can put
Hmm.
more energy into that because you're already writing what you know. So,
Right, right.
totally makes sense. There's another one on my bookshelf that's based in Ocean City, which is 3 hour drive
Okay.
from where we are. And so I think that's going to be one that I read over the summer, but that'll be another fun one where I'm very familiar with the
Right,
locations they're talking about. And I liked it. So it's probably something that I'll explore a little bit more.
for sure.
But anyways, so first time caller, obviously it's in Baltimore. It's not
Hmm.
like I just yapped about that for 5 minutes. And it's about two people finding love through a radio show, but not necessarily in the way that you might think they find love. Not going to spoil that because that gives away the entire plot, but that's the general premise. If I
Okay.
had to do it in a one-liner, the vibes of the book, vibe check. The vibes are calm, quiet, sweet, and vulnerable. There is a second book, so it looks like it's a duology based off of Borison's website, which I was not stalking this morning as I was prepping for tonight.
Right.
There is a second book out. I didn't know there was a second book until I was stalking the website. But she has other books out too, and apparently they're all cozy romance themed. That's just her thing, according to the website. So if I were to want another light palette cleanser, I might go with one of her books. And I think you'll get more of an idea of that coziness here in just a couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and talk about our characters. So we have Maya, who is our female main character's 12-year-old daughter.
12, sixth grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's younger. She is an only child. She's spunky, full of life, likes to cosplay, thinks Taylor Swift invented friendship bracelets.
She must have a sixth grader.
Right, exactly. So Maya's mom is our female main. She is a single mother, but is best friends with her baby daddy and her baby daddy's husband.
I tell Tom all the time that the only way he could ever leave me is to be gay. Because I would still want to, I mean, he's my best friend. I can't lose a
Yeah.
husband and a best friend. But I can add another best friend. That's fine.
Right, exactly. It's like only acceptable
Yeah.
reason
If
where
you're
we
gonna
can
leave
still
me.
be friends.
Right. I think that's what it boils down to is I get sometimes love, you just fall out of love. But when you have a kid, it's like, dude, we're stuck together forever.
Yeah,
So, and again, I'm gonna need my best friend because who am I gonna complain about my kid to? Your kid did this today, and you'd be like, oh, it's my kid. It is.
I definitely know that it's not the same, but we do that with the cats all the time.
Of course. Those are
Uh,
always your first babies.
but Maya is Lucy's first baby. Lucy also doesn't have a traditional job. She is a mechanic.
All
Yep,
right. Girl power. I'm here for it.
exactly. So
Do
Lucy's a
that.
mechanic. She's a hopeless romantic, and she's convinced herself that she has all the love that she needs from her found family. So her daughter, her baby daddy and his husband, her best
Mm-hmm.
friends. Her group is very small. She doesn't really deal with her parents. And that gets explained in the book, so I'm not going to spoil it because it gives a lot of things away. If I had to, because we talk about people as dogs all the time, right? Golden Retriever energy.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a dog for Lucy, she would be a pit bull lab mix.
All right. I'm picturing this.
So, found family is her pack and she guards them loyally. She doesn't chase romance because she
Mhm.
already has belonging and purpose.
Right. She's happy where she's at.
Yep. She fixes what's fixable, but doesn't waste time on what can't be saved.
Mm.
She knows exactly when she's safe to drop her guard and when she needs to leave it up, like a pit bull. But the loyalty, pit bulls are also very loyal, but
Yeah.
that's going to come from the lab side. And when she
Yeah.
does let her guard down, she's like a lab.
Right.
And then we have our main male character, Aiden Valentine Valen. Aiden is the host of Heartstrings, Baltimore's late night romance hotline.
Can I
Um,
ask a question?
yeah,
Do you guys have a radio station like that in Baltimore?
great question. And I've actually been meaning to look it up. So let's find out.
Sorry. I was just like, that would be so great to listen to that and see what it's really like.
So, Google's AI overview says based on available information, there is no specific dedicated late night romance hotline for Baltimore. Instead, locals often use general, national, or local phone chat lines.
What exactly is a chat line?
I
Like a
don't know.
online chat line? Like a chat room and they just don't know what a chat room is? I'm so old that remembers what a chat room is.
I know what a chat room is. I
Okay.
never experienced one.
They were weird. They were weird.
So, phone chat lines remain a fun, personal, and exciting way to connect with others, whether you're single, looking for casual conversations, or seeking something more intimate. Unlike dating apps, chat lines offer real-time voice-to-voice interactions that create more immediate and engaging connection. Whether you're after a flirty banter, deep conversations, or spontaneous late-night chats, there's a service that fits your needs.
I've ever heard of anything like that before.
I
We might get too
I didn't.
sidetracked with this, but
It almost makes me want to call one.
but then it also reminds me of, I don't want to say hotlines that you would call if you were like depressed and stuff like that.
Oh, suicide hotline. See, it reminded me more of phone sex lines.
Oh, well, they weren't much different, I guess.
They still exist.
I'm saying the two hotlines we were thinking.
Oh, yeah. No,
You
they're
call when you're
they're
sad and depressed.
you can't get through on the phone sex line, so you call the
We
suicide
call this.
hotline.
That's horrible.
We're gonna get canceled for that.
I'm gonna delete it, don't worry. Oh, that's true though. I feel that way. It's probably happened to someone. That's the funny part. I'm sorry. Could you could you imagine calling in and just being like, I just wanted phone sex.
Prematurely while I was having phone sex, and now I'm depressed.
Now I'm sad. Oh, sorry.
I'm
Or
not.
finishing that one and then going to the other one. Just being like, I can't believe I just did this.
A guilt.
Oh my God. All of this.
Start over. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're good. Go back to where you need to go.
So apparently a lot of these chat lines offer free trials between 30 and 60 minutes.
Do you think we could convince Blake or your roommate to do it
Oh,
for research purposes?
oh, that would be funny. He's
I
not
mean,
in here right now, but I'm sure I could if the right incentive was provided.
oh, guys will do anything for the right incentive.
So he'll come in here eventually and we'll ask him
Yeah.
when he does.
Well, he doesn't have to be on the video, but he could just tell us about it.
I'm gonna record it if he does it. So.
Please do.
and he's gonna have to put it on speaker.
Yeah.
So Baltimore does not have a late
Okay.
night romance hotline. So we do
Right.
definitely know that the one in First Time Caller is part of the magic of the story. But Aiden has trauma. Our man's is very, very traumatized
Oh no.
to the point where he doesn't believe in love. Yeah. Aiden doesn't believe in love. And so he's getting tired of his hotline. He's just not in it anymore. When he first started, he was all in, and then the enthusiasm faded with
Right.
time. I would say that Aiden is a rescued German Shepherd mix.
Oh, that's so sad. What is
Mhm.
it about German Shepherds in particular that when they have trauma, they really wear it on their sleeves?
Their faces are so expressive.
Yeah.
So expressive. Oh, hey,
Hey,
it's the man of the hour.
I'll need you to do something.
Come stick your face in the frame for a second. So, I know you can't hear Peyton, but
Okay.
the book that we're talking about is First Time Caller. And we did a little bit of research and found out that Baltimore doesn't have a late night romance hotline, but they do have phone chat line numbers. And we were wondering if for some research you would call one.
no.
Immediately
Not
no.
even with the what would it take to get you to do it?
I I don't want to do it. So nothing.
Well,
Please stop
then
it.
I'll be doing the research.
You know what? If Tom was in Baltimore, he would have done it. That's not true. He wouldn't have done it.
I bet that you guys have some too.
Oh God, I'm in Atlanta. They actually really do have sex lines here.
Any with free trials?
I don't know. I did hear that at one point we do have a sex club type of thing.
Didn't we talk about that a little bit with,
I think so in Caught Up.
yeah,
Because we talked about how we would never, but and all I do is I think I remember because I had a friend that was trying to go to one in Florida, and I was like, well, like, is that the closest one? So weird. But then like, I looked and there was one in Atlanta, and just the photos look gross. Like,
if,
no,
if your
definitely not.
photos look gross,
I'll have to send you the link if it
ugh,
still exists.
I hope it does.
The things we are willing to do for you three listeners.
We
Well,
love you.
we do. We love you guys.
So our poor German Shepherd mix, Aiden, he's guarded and he definitely keeps a careful emotional distance, but he's still very warm and you still feel safe with him, which is definitely part of the reason why people like his radio show.
Hmm.
Despite that, though, his true loyalty and passion really only come out with patience and warmth given to him in return. And his walls come down slowly with time. And once he finally becomes attached to his person, his passion for them becomes unrivaled. So it's the romance in this book is actually really nice. The pacing of it feels realistic. The book takes place over the course of weeks, and it's just Lucy and Aiden finding their matches and moving through getting comfortable, right? And opening up. It's not a slow burn, it's not an instant love. It's
A
paced in
good
a way
one.
that feels natural and
That's good.
real.
And that's really hard to do for a book because you only have a limited time before your readers get bored. But if it happens too fast, you're like, man, this isn't realistic.
100%. So Borison manages to pace it over 420 pages. So it's not even that long of a read. It's under 500 pages, which I think is what helps with the pacing too. Because for a book like this, more than 500 pages is too much, but less
Yeah.
than 300 is not enough.
No, no,
Plus 420. So it's perfect.
definitely.
Themes
So
and go ahead.
go ahead.
Nope,
No,
you first.
sorry. So you might not tell me this because it might spoil the book, but I'm assuming that this girl calls him multiple times to the show, or does he call her back on the show, the mom, or because a first time caller is you never hear from them again, so how would a relationship develop type of thing?
That she makes an appearance on the show
Oh,
multiple
okay.
times.
So they bring her on as a regular guest. Okay.
And they have this plan. It's sponsored by Mr. Tire, and it's called Lucy's Road to Love. And so she's just being set up on dates through the radio station, basically.
That's super cute. That's fun.
It's a lot of fun. There are dates that go well, and there are dates that don't go so well. And you feel heartbroken right alongside her.
Oh.
And you feel triumphant in her good moments, too. Lucy's just a very relatable character in every way, shape, and form. From her desires surrounding love, wanting romance and magic and sparks and wanting it to be easy. I think we all wanted that or want that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also very down to earth, and she knows that she has her daughter and she has to put her daughter first, and she's okay with that. And she's got her responsibilities. And so we see her come out of her comfort zone in this book because she starts doing things for her and putting herself first. Not in ways that are detrimental to her daughter or the rest of her family, but actually are in the long run very beneficial. Lucy is a fairly moderately complex character. She's got depth to her, and that's something that I do like. Especially for a romance book, they don't normally focus on a lot of the other stuff going on in the
Right.
characters'
Yeah.
lives. So with stuff like that comes a lot of conversations around vulnerability, but there's also this exploration of passion and like how do you balance what you want versus what you think is right. And then once what you think is right is no longer correct, how does passion come back into the game? Does that change what you do? We explore found family, obviously, through Lucy and even Aiden and Aiden's friends. And then mentioned a couple minutes ago, heartbreak, right? So when something goes wrong, you feel it in your soul. And then you have to keep moving forward with the characters, right? And so it sits there. And even though it might not always be at the forefront of your mind in the book, it still sits with you and helps you really understand the character's motivations, which isn't necessarily unique, but it's, again, this book is just done in such a realistic way that it feels different. I don't know if I'm making any sense, to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
The writing style for this book is very casual. It's really just two people going about their days, no fancy formal settings, just real people feeling real things.
I think it's so important to read books like that. I used to hate it. I used to be like, if it's not fantasy or horror or anything like that, I'm not gonna read it. And then I think as an adult, it shifted to where I was like, I need that realistic reset, but still enjoy the life part of it. Does that make sense?
I need to be able to relate to something
Hmm.
and not feel as alone.
Hmm.
And a lot of times in books like these, it's focusing on good things that are happening in the
Yeah,
setting that you're familiar with. And
right.
so it's reframing things more positively, especially right now. So
It's
much
literally,
heaviness.
I was literally just thinking that exact same thing. It's almost like a spring breeze after a long winter day. You need that mental and emotional reset that comes with it that goes, oh, this is the world. I'm not being jerked out of a different world and put back into this one. I'm still in this world. And it kind of forces you to see the good things. It's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice change of pace, especially after reading Haunting the Hunter.
I thought you were gonna do it, and then I thought, well, maybe it'll motivate me after she's done with it. I guess I got another week to read it now.
Yes, I will do it for my next episode for sure because
Okay.
it needs to happen. I think it'll be funnier if you read it first.
Okay. And it's not even that long of a read. And I'm very
It's not.
interested.
And it's
That's
a
crazy.
very easy read. The font is not super teeny tiny. It's actually on the larger side. It's not a hard read at all.
Yeah. I've just been in a writing funk or a reading funk for a while, I think. I think after it caught up, I was just kind of like, ugh. And
That's
then I read
fair.
it. It's a good book. It's not like I needed a break from reading. It's just Honestly, I've been so caught up with everything else. I haven't had time.
You're working on a lot of projects right now, so that makes sense. I get it. But once you are ready to start rolling through books again, like they're
Mhm.
candy, this book is absolutely for all of the hopeless romantics out there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on my list. I already sold it.
If you're looking for something that feels real and good and attainable, if you need a
Mhm.
soft palate cleanser, something cozy to curl up with, this is perfect.
That's good.
I will say the book didn't come with any trigger warnings, but I do have a couple of content warnings. So there is reference to repeated bouts of cancer in the book.
Mhm.
Single motherhood, obviously, that can be triggering for some folks depending on their experiences. And it's also got some pseudo public sexual activity.
That's just gonna make me jealous, not anything else. Sorry.
So those are just the three content warnings that I would put out about the book. But even then, nothing really crazy. And then a couple of other notes about the book. It's definitely not meant to be super climactic. We do get some tension. There is a point of conflict in the book because that's necessary. But it like I've been preaching on this episode, it just ebbs and flows like real life. You have to keep moving. You can't sit and wallow necessarily.
Mhm.
And so it's a book where you can put yourself in either character's shoes and know what they're feeling like. I also, even though there is a sequel, and I don't know if there's other books coming after that,
Mhm.
I don't feel like I need more. So you could read First Time Caller, not pick up the next book in the series, and you'd be perfectly content with where things ended.
Right. I there's one author, let me see if I can like I have her book behind me somewhere, but she does something called the Gummy Bear Collection. And they're a lot like that. Tend to be seasonal. My favorite one's a Halloween one, and I'm pretty sure there's a Christmas one, and I know there's an Irish one, but she's really good about setting that atmosphere and giving you what you need emotionally as a reader without torturing you. And that's
That's important too, because
yeah,
not everybody's like that.
right.
Actually, a lot of authors aren't like that.
A lot of authors, me being guilty, to mentally torture their readers, kind of put them through hard things that are unnecessary sometimes. And I will say in defense, not that I feel like I need to, but a lot of times your characters just write themselves. You're like a facilitator and they're really going on their own journey and doing their own thing and making their own choices because you as a writer, you have to get into that character and you can't write a character reacting a way that they would never react just because you need to
Right.
push that storyline because it's never going to make sense. So,
That's fair. That's very valid. With that, aside from a short excerpt that I would love to share if you're willing to listen, I don't have any other talking points on this book. So I'll share this excerpt with you,
okay.
get your final thoughts, and then we'll go from there, I guess. All right. Story time. Are you ready? Can I help? She asks. I tilt my head to look at her. She shifts on her feet when our gazes snap together. I'm not used to sitting on my hands. I want her to sit and relax and maybe talk to me some more about the things she wants for herself, but I'm not sure that's possible with the way she keeps shifting her feet. Plus, we'll have plenty of time to do exactly that when she's locked in this room, or when we're locked in this room together for hours. I tip my head to the empty coffee pot behind me. Make us some coffee? There's a bunch of stuff in the break room to choose from, whatever you want. She reaches for the handle of the carafe. I haven't been relegated to coffee making duties in a while. Shit, I didn't even realize. I reach for the pot in her hand, but she tugs it out of reach, a laugh under her breath. My fingertips skim the soft material of the sweater she's wearing, and I dropped my hand abruptly, curling it into a fist. There is about 3 inches of space in this room, and there's nowhere I can move that doesn't have some part of me pressed up against some part of her.
Force proximity is the greatest.
And we got a little bit of a Mr. Darcy hand clench in there.
I know. I was gonna say it, but then I thought you'd think I was nerdy. But definitely the hand clench. Gotta love
Yeah,
it.
I was, when I first read that passage, I was laying on the floor behind me reading, and Blake was sitting in his gaming chair doing whatever it was that he was doing that night. And I sat up so fast and I giggled and I was like, there was a Mr. Darcy hand clench. It was such a good book. I know you said that it was officially on your list. Any particular thoughts, curiosities that you have going in?
I will say my favorite thing about reading palette cleansers in particular is that very organic relationship between male and female. And if it's done correctly, it's organic, obviously. But in me being a larger woman, I do tend to like the plus size characters as well because it feels like even if they're average, it just feels more natural, I think. So a lot of times I vicariously live through my character and re-fall in love, and it makes me happy. And my dopamine and serotonin is huge. So I'm very excited to get that. I'm
Mhm.
excited that the fact being that you alone are doing a palette cleanser, I think this is the first palette cleanser you've done.
I was looking back at my other scripts from last season. I haven't
Mhm.
done a single palette cleanser.
I know. I'm so excited. I like normally I'm the one that comes in with a palette cleanser because a lot of the stuff I read is just super dark. And so it's nice to have you come in with a good palette cleanser. I'm excited. Anything that you
Yeah.
would feel like I would get behind.
I I don't typically read a lot of palette cleansers just generally. What I consider palette cleansers are usually just non-smut books.
Honestly, I get that. Yeah, honestly. Sometimes they do fall in that category to where you read it and you're like, damn, I'm heartbroken and mad and frustrated right now. And I'm like, this isn't a palette cleanser.
Right. And like I'm so guilty of doing that.
hmm
I'm also really guilty of actively avoiding palette cleansers.
hmm If they're
Like
done right, they're amazing. If they're done terribly, I can't. The Mothman, I'm in love with the Mothman, had so much potential, and then it failed miserably. In the end, the beginning was great. I read one over Christmas about Krampus. It should have been good. It was terrible.
this really?
I was like, you could do so much with this. I'm totally down. You could do so much with this. Just like the Mothman. You could do. I gotta stop being in love with cryptids. I've got an
Just
issue,
don't
I
know
think.
how you would make Krampus hot.
Do I need to send you videos? Did I not send you videos on Christmas about hot Krampuses? I know Tom saw them. Tom's laughing at us right now, going, yeah, she watched a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure I've got one saved to my phone. I'm about to send it to you.
I'm scared.
Amazingly, again, there's so much that you could do that you can't help but to try it out, I guess.
You should write a cryptid romance.
I would be good at a cryptid romance.
And I think you would do a really good why choose cryptid romance.
Yeah, that would be fun. I could see. So the Krampus thing was basically like a monster killer, monster hunter type of thing. And she was Santa Claus's niece, maybe daughter, but it doesn't feel like it was daughter. It was daughter. And she was a vampire. Her mom was a famous vampire killer, and so she was a monster hunter. And she hunts down Krampus, but he's actually a nice guy. So anything could be better than that.
Seen the Krampus movie. I don't know that anyone who traps people in snow globes could be a nice guy, but I also don't know how accurate that movie is.
It's not very accurate. It's interesting though, considering that it's all puppeteering and stuff like that. Aldrin actually watched it this year. I let my 5-year-old watch it. That should
That
tell you.
go.
Great. He loved it. He thought it was so cool. He was happy the family died. Got trapped, basically. My kid's slightly demonic, I think.
He does control the weather, so
For those of you guys that have no idea what I'm talking about, my son has been doing this magical spell that he created to make snow come. In the past 3 times, he's decided to do it without telling us, which includes putting crayons in windowsills, white crayons. The weather's changed for the cold, so might be onto something. Sorry, I'm trying to find this video for you.
you're all good. Anyways, I'm so excited that First Time Caller is officially making it on your TBR. I have a book on my TBR that you actually just recommended to me, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I was at my
You
parents'
bought it?
house. No, I was at my parents' house and my mom had a copy and I
Oh
saw
no.
it. It was literally days after we filmed that.
That's so funny.
So I saw it and was like, "Can I borrow this?" And she's like, "Absolutely."
Has she read it?
She has read it. She loved it. She said she cried. She also told me that it was indeed soul crushing.
Yes.
So I am looking forward to it. I think I'm going to read that as part of my March TBR list so that way I can give my
Yeah.
little reaction alongside The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, you're
Mm,
going super heavy.
I am because I'm reading another palate cleanser right now, a little Kissing Between Friends. This was a blind date with a book that I picked up from a pseudo local bookshop 2 years ago called
Okay.
The Curious Iguana. It's in Frederick.
I think Megan's told me about that.
Probably. But they did a blind date thing for Valentine's 2 years ago. So I picked it up and I never read it. And I was like,
Okay.
well, might as well. I'm reading palette cleansers anyways.
Speaking
We'll
of,
we'll see.
sorry, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but the blind date with a book that you sent me as a Christmas gift is probably the next one I'm going to read.
Ooh.
It's, I don't know. I'm trying to not read into it too much until I figure it out, but it's dark, mysterious, and I like going
Okay.
into my blind books completely blind. First page. Oh, this is what we're reading.
Excited to see what you think because if you like it, then I may go read it myself.
Oh, I think it's called
Um,
The Hatched Moon or The Moon Just Hatched or something like that.
and it's got a white dragon on the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my blind date.
I know what book you're talking about, and so that's definitely one that I can pick up at some point in the near
Cool.
future. Just running down the list of things that we normally talk about at the end of the show in my head, and I'm like, I think we've covered everything.
I think we have. I know we're both out of it tonight, but I think it's great. Thanks for sharing the palette cleanser with us for sure. I'm excited to. Oh God, I got a host next. That'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea what we're doing, so that'll be fun.
I guess we'll find out.
So fun now. I might, although I guess people probably don't want two palette cleansers in a row. I might do one from the gummy bear collection since I didn't mention that.
I love our listeners. I don't care what they want to hear. It's about what we want to talk about, and they can
Exactly.
skip around if they want to.
That is a good point. You do not have to follow these in a row. So
Nope.
there we go.
Very
We know what
few
we
of
want.
them play into each other. So, alrighty. Well, on that note, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow all the things, click all the buttons everywhere, Instagram, YouTube. I've actually been posting on TikTok.
I know.
So we're getting the ball really rolling this time around. We're in it to win it.
Absolutely. You are doing a great job. If you guys see us out there on the socials, that's all Mel. I do nothing.
You submit content from time to time.
No. Every so often I'll share. I'm terrible at social media. Absolutely horrible. But I appreciate the love and support, guys. We do. We appreciate that with the show.
We sure do. And again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here tonight, Peyton. Any last comments for anybody?
No, if there is a book that you want us to cover, to comment in anything, any of the socials. We do read those and we would love to cover a book. Maybe we'll do one of your requests.
Or if you want to come on the show and try to convince us to read a book, you can always shoot us a DM and we can possibly arrange something. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Absolutely.
Bye.
What the fuck were we thinking?